Oh my god. The guy falling asleep on him, the other guy taking all the space, reading his phone, like, this is... It's like, no, wasn't watching your phone. Subscribe, please. Hi guys, today we have a announced trailer from Ananta. So if you guys have potentially missed the news, Ananta is actually the new name for Project Mugen. Project Mugen? Yeah, there it is. Anyway, Project Mugen. So this is now called Ananta, and we have a official trailer. I think this is technically the first video that is directly called Ananta. Now this one, the teaser trailer for Ananta. This was the announcement of the name change, essentially. So this is technically the first proper trailer for the game since the change. So let's have a look here. Wait, did I just see a toilet racing next to the Windrop driver? Forget the plans and the rules, let's just have a blast. Time to heat up Nova City and unleash the fun. There we go. Alright, let's have a look at it real quick. Let's be loud.
Wake up, sleepyhead. The
Hi.
wildest city's coming right up.
Sleepyhead, ooh. Naked Rain? This is kind of a vibe, not gonna lie. Magic ice cream! Jesus. What is happening?
Dangers on the horizon. But you know, the thing that keeps us united, that one thing.
Get home early and game on.
Oh.
What the hell are those? Oh my god. Bruh. That was a Subway experience and a half. Alright, so the pre-registration are now open. Don't hesitate to go to anantagame.com if you want to do that. First and foremost, we didn't see the female protagonist in the trailer at all, but she's right here and she's looking pretty good. I'll definitely play as her, obviously. I prefer playing as a woman in my game because I can relate to the character better. And I think she looks great. I really like the outfit. Women in suits are top tier. So it seems that we are probably like someone from the police, or at least an investigator or like a detective or something, because we seem to have like an official badge. So it definitely seems like we are someone, we are like an official something, right? What's very interesting here is that like in the design we can see this like this hand here. It seems to be a power that we control. That's probably how we can, like, you know, zip through the city like Spider-Man, right? So very, very cool. There's a few things that I saw in the trailer, and also like obviously here we are arriving in the city, right? So this seemed to be potentially a superior. So it feels like we're probably a new member in this task force, I guess. And she's a superior. She's probably going to be like one of our close colleague, the mentor figure, I would assume. And I really like her design. I like her. She's like a cat girl or a fox girl, kind of hard to see with the ears. It could be wolf as well, to be honest. Either or, it doesn't really matter. And here we're arriving in the city, the first city of Ananta. And she's looking very, very good. I like the kind of... I like that she has like this cap, but the cap itself has a zipper which allows our cat ear to actually go through, right? Very, very cool detail. I appreciate that. It absolutely makes sense. The music is a bop, and we can see a lot of stuff going on here. This looks incredibly populated. I assume that when the game is out, there's not going to be that many NPCs, because that seems like too much, right? I think that's going to be too heavy on everybody's settings, but who knows? I mean, here we see a lot of cars. Like, this is the gameplay here, right? And we can see, like, there's a few cars, but it's not that many people walking around. And this is cutscene, right? And suddenly there's a billion people. That's not going to be the case, most likely not, right? I'm expecting some areas to be a bit more heavy with people, but, like, not everywhere. Here we can see the ice cream popping. Character looks cute here. The little bell. The little... I don't know what those are. Those could be, like, a headset, but this could... I don't know what it is. I'm trying to see if there's any character that seems like a playable character that we've ever seen before. Here there seems to be a band. But maybe this character looks more detailed than the other, so I could assume she's actually a playable character, right? Because like here they're dressed pretty plain, you know, like simple jacket, simple pants, same here. But this character here on the drum, way more detail, like some ribbon, some stuff that looks like maybe for weapon here, like some holster, whatever those are. And so I could see her being playable. Now here we see some rooftop action. So I assume those are some places we'll be able to reach, which is very cool. The beach is crazy, but that's too many people, right? Again, so this is purely cutscenes. It looks like the city from a top view. I wonder if we'll be able to fly with the helicopters and stuff like that or not. Here we see two more characters. Obviously, we see the rabbit that we're used to. She's falling asleep on the wheel. And we see another character here. This one seems to be dressed like a rabbit because she does have some mechanical ears here. But she probably is a normal human. Who knows? But she does seem to be a Instagrammer or at least a content creator because we can see that... Oh, the Mimiko. I mean, Glimmer Gold too. So Glimmer Gold is probably the area, right? So this is Mimiko. Okay, so now we know another character, potential's name. Very, very cool. So we can see there's a lot of interaction here. I wonder if there's going to be some stuff to do with social medias, maybe to increase your reputation, stuff like that, right? So... what game is this? The graphics are insane. That's so funny. Jesus Christ. Just, hey, I see you. Glazing yourself. Insane. You can see here there's a car going crazy. The transition is kind of misleading, I guess. This is not the same car, right? This is a different car. So it's not her like falling asleep and that the car is going crazy to protect them. This is a different car, and this is like an enemy. I assume this is a boss. It's probably like a kind of like a entity that just spawn or transform this car into a monster, or it's hiding as a car, maybe like a transformer would, and so obviously causing issues. And so we have to chase after them, right? Here we can see there seems to be something like Mahjong. Yeah, that's definitely Mahjong. Definitely a playable character. This seems to be the protagonist. I don't know who that is. They look a bit too bland to be a playable character, but here we see a maid doing some form of martial art. Very cool. I think there's someone else on the left, but it's hard to see. There we see the little devil character going outside with a dog. And what's really cool here is that we can see that the graffiti is actually alive. The graffiti is moving. That's really, really nice. There's some basketball here. No one seems to be playable, but it does make you wonder, are we going to be able to play some basketball as well? Because there seems to be a lot of minigames, as you can see later on. Here we have another character, even though she looks like a little bit of a... I think this is probably like a cow character. The ears are very cow-like, or the horns are very cow-like, and there's like some bells on top of it, so I could see this being a cow. But it could also be a devil, I don't know, because she does have like slightly pointed ears. And I'm not too sure what's going on here. Is she infiltrating? Because this seems to be an interrogation. This seems to be a police office. So maybe she's trying to take a photograph of the person that's been arrested, or maybe the blackboard. And when she takes the photo, there's a flash. Everybody is like surprised. But she might just be working for them, because if we look at her outfit again, sorry, my apologies. She has the same colored tie as the other two have. Obviously, that could be a coincidence, but that would also make sense if that was like part of the uniform, even though she's not like in a suit like they are. Maybe even though she's a police officer or something, maybe because they don't seem to be like kicking her out or being surprised that she's here. This seems like too... that would be silly if this was like a public area, right? So this is probably... She's probably here because she can be here, or she was also arrested and she's taking some pictures. So maybe those two are being arrested together, or she's a member of the police and maybe she's working with the protagonist and she's taking pictures. I'm just like fully speculating, but I think this is kind of the fun of it. Here we can see the police coming in. We can see agents. So there we go. We are an agent. Agent ascends to clean up rampant climber. Nova's underworld unraveled. So what's interesting here is that we are an agent, but an agent of what? We don't know. Although, maybe full, maybe I'm a random little cat being a silly bully. We do have a black outfit with the blue tie. I'm just saying, very similar to the two characters we saw there, right? So maybe we are agents of Regis, or Aegis, or whatever. Maybe we are some detective in the police force, right? Moving on. Here we have some punks, like a punk rock gang doing some shenanigans on the street. They're doing some gymnastic. Interesting. This is... I don't know what to say about this. Just toilets running around. Oh, okay, there it is. Now we see the car going crazy. That was the car that we saw on the highway earlier. And there's another character here. She seems to be blonde with like long hair. A bit hard to... Oh, no. I think that's a guy, actually. Yeah, I think that's a guy. That was just the animation. There was a little bit of elasticity in the animation there. Okay, so that's a crazy looking car. Cool character, probably also an agent, because we see the same color schemes here.
Dangers on the horizon.
So we can see here the protagonist has a weapon, and the weapon here is literally a buzzsaw, a chainsaw. Very cool, but I wonder if we'll be having access to multiple type of weapon, or maybe we can choose the type of weapon that we have for the protagonist, because we saw him later on, he was using some guns. Here we can see another character there with like the cap with the cat ears, very, very cute, the pink hair. The black and pink is very cute. She seems to be wearing more of a streetwear, so I could see her either being like someone that does graffiti or someone that's like a mechanic or something. This is the kind of trope that we see with this kind of outfit in general.
The thing that...
We can see here, by the way, this guy here is having a bad time, right? But if you look at the haircut, this is actually, I believe this is the boss that we see later on. Look at this design real quick, even though we don't see much of it. But here, right there, that's the follow-up of his transformation. See? Yeah, that's the same character. It goes crazy, arm goes up, and then when we see him again, there it is. That's a crazy monster. So it seems that there's something transforming or corrupting people or objects in the city, right? Because this guy transformed. So we can assume that the car, the evil car that we saw here, is probably something similar going on. So I wonder, we'll probably have to investigate on all of that. Here we can see this character, was it Dahlia or something? I don't remember exactly. But we saw her in previous trailer. Man, that character looks so good. We have the chainsaw again.
That one.
See, we have this kind of like thread or like telekinesis thing that allows us to, like here, use it to close the car, but this is also what we've seen when he's zipping around like Spider-Man.
Thing.
Big jump. We can see a massive train with like buzzsaws and chainsaws and whatnot. This guy looks like one of the punk guys that we saw earlier, so it's probably going to be in a kind of other boss fight.
Let's get home early and game on.
Oh my god, she has the the pixel glasses, of course. I think this has to be a reference to Men in Black, right? Yeah, and the gun that flashes to like remove your memories, definitely. Yeah, see, that's the hand thingy. And see here, he's using a gun. This could be only like a special sequence, because you can see the guys here, the blue and red guys. It's the guys that we saw earlier right there on the highway, the punk guys, I guess. So maybe this is a sequence where specifically you have access to a gun. Or does that mean that we can always have a ranged weapon? Maybe the melee weapon is the chainsaw, the ranged weapon is a gun, and here we have to fight them off as they purchase us. They're chasing us, Jesus Christ. Using the chainsaw to fight against a car. That's the train that we saw, probably a train boss. Yeah, there we go. So she's a graffiti user. That ulti animation is cool. Look at all the paint and stuff. Another thing that I noticed earlier, look at her ability. She can grab the thing that are there. This is not something she summons. That is the environment. So she's grabbing some pieces of the environment with her telekinesis to then throw it at enemies. So is that going to be something that everybody has access to? Is there something specific to her? I could see it either way. It's probably like a projection of the hand telekinesis that we saw earlier. But who knows? Very, very cool. That's nice, because that's mean more interaction with the environment. I really wonder what are going to be the limits to that, right? That's a cool ultimate animation as well. What's happening here? There's so much going on. So here, yeah, so that's definitely, she is a goat character. You can see like the shape of the bell is very specific to goats. It's kind of the same shape or similar shape or length at least that like Ganyu has, for example. And here she summons a little goat right there that has some glasses. That's a badass goat, dude. And there we go. The goat is here. It seems to be jumping around, and that's doing some AoE damage here. Okay, very, very cool. Oh, that's the girl we saw earlier. Dahlia, maybe... Man, she looks cool. She has like a big weapon. Let me see. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm pausing a lot, but I'm having a good time doing this here. Yeah, that's definitely the character we saw earlier that was talking to us. I think she's the narrator. Man, she looks cool. There seems to be a kind of parry mechanic. Interestingly enough, this is the Shonen jump, because there's youth and there's jump here. Shonen means young, so that's literally... Well, that's nice. We like mangas. So that's pretty cool. Look at that. Home X work, that's Spy X Family. Claire, what is that? I think this looks like maybe Blue Lock. Climb, Blue Lock. That's cool. I like those references. Yeah, Climb, that's definitely a Blue Lock reference. Because they look like sports people. That's cool, that's cool. I don't know what the other one are. It's hard to say here. This one. I can't read the title. I'm sorry, there's like someone started doing some work. Alright, there we go. But look at that. Open 24 hours. There's a lot of things going on. And you can see here, when you stop the car, it's not like you punch them and steal the car. You're like requisitioning, essentially. You're like, okay, I need the car, right? And then they go away and they give you access to the car. So it's interesting to see how this functions, right? It's literally like, hey, yo, I need this car for work. I'm like the FBI, right? So we are very respected. Okay, we're like an important thing. We have a lot of power here. Yo, some of those characters look weird, dude. I don't know if this is just some customization stuff. Like, what is that guy? Maybe this is just a job you can take and this is the outfit you get. Like, maybe you can, like, work as a delivery person. This one, I don't know. Is that a character? It could be, like, that blonde character. We saw him earlier, like, grabbing the monster car. Here we can interact with the environment to drop massive construction stuff on enemy. That's pretty cool. This looks to be some street racing. So it's probably going to be like a kind of mini game. Playing basketball. We can actually play basketball. There it is. We can do some fitness exercise. What's interesting, we can seem to be able to do it with different characters. It doesn't have to be the protagonist. We can play darts. I think that's the prototype in the back. So this has to be a playable character. And this is probably like chill outfit or something. That looks very cool. Look at that. That's awesome. Or maybe we'll play against her. Maybe she's like a pro dart player or something. She could be an NPC. There's like a cat cafe. Man, that looks awesome. I'm not gonna lie. This looks really cool. Oh my god. The guy falling asleep on him. The other guy taking all the space. Reading his phone. Like, this is... It's like, nope, wasn't watching your phone. What a nightmare. Alright, that was awesome. That was such a cool trailer. I know I took a long time, like, hyper-analyzing and checking everything, but I thought that was really, really interesting. I hope you enjoyed this quote-unquote deep dive into this trailer. I'm excited. This looks good. I'm looking forward to some official announcement, right? The pre-registrations are now open, so we can probably expect the game to release in the upcoming year. Hopefully, we won't have to wait like 10 or 12 months. And yeah, anywho, let me know what you guys think. Are you going to be playing this game? Are you more excited for this game or are you more excited for NTE? Because they are obviously very similar, with similar themes. So I'm probably going to at least try both. But I know not everybody has as much time to waste on video games. So if you had to pick one, which would it be? Anywho, I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.